There we are. You there, Greg? Oh Lord.
There
Thought
we
I
go.
did that
What up,
already, Greg.
everybody?
Sorry, shit.
It's all good.
Everything's a lot more compact on the old mobile version. So uh, glad we got it working anyway.
I'm
Well,
glad you're braving that. I think that'd be a little bit too much, too small for me, maybe.
yeah, it'll work. She's on her way, so she'll be here in about 15 minutes, and I can go off camera and go jump on upstairs.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be the highest picture quality for sure, but it'll be all right.
That's okay, man. Good to see you, dude. It's been a little bit. I know you probably
Yeah,
been.
it has. Yeah, everybody's been asking when you gonna do another
Yeah.
stream with Greg. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. A lot of my people are here. How y'all doing? I've been in the chat. Nice to see everybody. Yeah, I've just been working hard. I had to get my business back in order after I took a couple of weeks off, so I've just been tied up with that. But I will be back on this side starting this next week more often.
yeah, whenever you take a break like that, sometimes you gotta really focus on that, get back in the swing of things, and get
I'll admit too, man. I'll admit to y'all right here, like really, the Charlie Kirk case and the Tyler Robbins, like it's intense for me because you know just so many rabbit holes, and like I've always said, when you try to follow them out to the end and you get to these implications and conclusions that are like kind of tough to accept a little bit, so I need to
hmm
take time off to myself to just kind of like process that out and like come with a new fresh approach, because man, it's whew.
yeah. I mean, and it's not looking any better at the end of the day. I mean, if anything, it just gets darker and darker, worse and worse. So
Yeah, I caught, I think, Barron's last two episodes where he's just continuously knocking holes in the
yeah,
Fed stuff story, and I'm like, dude,
yeah.
it's just like it gets worse for him every day, man. In my
I
opinion.
know, and I'm fixing to do me just like a recap episode because between Candace and Barron over the last you know 2 weeks,
Yeah.
they've both just been dropping bombs. So yeah, I thought about doing me a little recap episode because it's a lot for a lot of people to. It's a lot for me to absorb, honestly. But
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just like there's so many different factual scenarios, like going like interlocking with one another. Because you got like the Erica Kirk, Andrew Colvin. You got that whole investigation going at the same time, like with Barron eating at the Fed slop narrative. And
hmm
obviously, my channel's really been mostly geared towards Tyler Robinson, talking some about the other.
yep,
But it's hard not. You can't just consider the Tyler Robinson thing in a vacuum. Even though I'm a
no,
trial lawyer and I like to, there's just so much over there that like is starting to come bear upon it that like the inevitable is. I think the connections are about to start happening.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, obviously the Tyler Robinson thing is one of the biggest things because you know he's on trial for it, or and um, if they if they're able to convict him, then obviously everything else goes away because there's not going to be anything after that. If they
Yeah.
convict him,
Well,
they'll put him away forever, and that's going to be the last anybody ever hears of it.
I do agree with you in one vein, but I don't know, man. I think there's enough people out here in this country right now
Oh
that
no, I
hip to
agree.
this. That, like, I don't know
I
if it's
agree.
even then going to go peacefully. I mean, especially when
Yeah,
you have Baron Coleman doing shadow analysis, bro.
yeah, yeah,
Let me
yeah,
say that again. Baron is doing shadow analysis on these videos, tearing these
yeah.
people up, and when I see that, I mean, I just don't think it's going to end up well for these people. Quite
No,
frankly.
and um, what was I going to say? My mind just went blank. It's been a long day.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's what they're going to attempt to do anyway. And I think that's one good thing about the whole this whole side investigation is that a lot of people are realizing that it's bullshit. And I
yeah,
do think that if they do try to just put him away, lock him up, throw the keys away, and move on, that there will be a lot of people that
yeah.
are not going to have that. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
But
the
if
the
they,
side the side investigation. So there's probably a lot of people out there that would never like look at the Tyler Robinson thing probably deep enough to really dig too far. But like in conjunction with seeing potential motives in these other stories, that's drawing a lot of people into making
right,
them aware of
right.
Tyler Robinson.
And that's one thing so that's one thing that I have always believed, and I've said, like with your Gary Meltons of the world and all these others that are like, if you don't believe that Tyler Robinson did it, you know, if you've got an alternative theory, especially if you go, and which I haven't heard anybody accuse anybody of anything directly, but if you're going to accuse somebody, the burden then falls on you to prove this out. Well, no, not exactly, because I
Yeah.
haven't seen anybody. Have you seen anybody actually accuse somebody yet?
Well, that's another thing too is that I haven't seen them accuse anybody of anything, but to the extent that they would, yeah, that would be their burden to prove some third party did it instead. But in terms of Tyler Robinson, no, it's the state's burden to prove
Well,
that. You know what I mean?
well,
Like,
that's
so yeah,
true. That's true. But like I've always said though too is, I mean, in a perfect world, if everything worked like it should, Um, if reasonable doubt falls on Tyler Robinson, then they need to get their asses back out there and do their jobs that we all pay them to do, and look at some of these alternatives. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, and the sad thing is, like I said, I hate to say it, even if Tyler Robinson gets off, I don't see any other accountability being had until at least I'll just say it, speculation Cash Patel gets out of the FBI.
Yeah,
I don't know that, but
yeah,
I mean, I don't know that for sure either, though.
yeah, yeah. And hopefully, whoever comes in behind him is better than he was. He was a real disappointment.
Yeah, and it started pretty quick too. I mean, at the
He
very,
sure talked a good game, and I really thought he was going to
yeah,
be.
the way I kind of see it, yeah, with the E-teen files, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
That right there, it just, man, after I read what happened in 2007 and just in that court record, like, man, I can just say that's a very dark thing. And like anyone in or around that, like, I don't know. If it were me and I worked for the government and let's say worked for the Department of Justice and like my top boss Pam Bondi was doing that, like I would have to leave that position, right? Because at a
Yeah,
certain point,
yeah,
you continuing to work wherever it is in that department is co-signing your name to that. Just in my opinion, right? And people make their own choices. Don't get me wrong, but that's just kind of the way that would have been my
yeah,
personal. I would say I can no longer be associated or affiliated with all this, man.
yeah.
It's bad, dude.
And I think at the end of the day, I think that's what happened with Bongino. But here's the thing: he did the right thing, but he did it in the wrong way. For one, he should have walked out of there in the first month or something, tops. He stayed in there a year, and then instead of leaving and coming back and saying, you know what, that swamp's deeper than I thought. It's way worse than I thought. Whatever. I'm sorry. Blah blah. Instead of doing that, when he got out of there, he came back to his show, called himself the Podfather, said the Podfather's back, and then started attacking everybody for everything, calling them stupid, and talking about how much they got done, how much they did, which everybody knows is not true. So, like I said,
Yeah,
he
yeah. I
he did
mean,
the right thing by leaving, but he just did it in the wrong way.
yeah, it just makes me wonder, like, is that his ego or is that because he's been influenced or, what is that?
I don't know. It's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, calling yourself the Podfather, that's definitely ego.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
see, projecting onto others and not mentioning the fact that the 18 files were not appropriately released as promised. Like, yeah, I
right.
don't know, man. Yeah.
Crazy
Has he been
stuff.
going off lately? Has he still been going off? I haven't caught any
Oh
clips
yeah,
of late.
Oh, he's had some good ones. He crashes out every time he goes on.
And then you got to wonder, is he doing that for coverage? I mean, I know everybody accuses everybody of that, but I wonder if him, because I mean, I would imagine his numbers have or had been
Oh,
dwindling.
they're bad. They're bad. Yeah, it's bad. Um, so they just showed up. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to go off camera for just a minute, and then
Okay,
I'll.
I'll check out some comments from the
All
people.
right, that'll work, buddy. Thanks.
All right, brother. See you second. Oh, hey everybody. Hey Daisy. Hey Debbie. Hey Brett. Hey Susan. Sorry, I'm going about halfway down here, just seeing who. Hey Debbie. Good to see y'all. Susan says he's on trial for life. We should stay on top of it. I assume you're talking about Tyler Robinson. Yeah, I agree. Again, that's my primary focus, right? As a trial lawyer and just interested in justice in this country. Like, yeah, that's my main focus. People at my channel know that. But yeah, you can't just ignore the other investigation going on because, like, especially now, I mean, they're making solid connections and things are definitely not adding up. On both ends, right? On both ends. And thank you to Barron for continuing to cut apart the Fed slop narrative because, man, it's not good. And yeah, just for me there for a while, it got pretty intense. And obviously, last time I was doing like consistent live streams, people were like going back and forth with each other about the theories and stuff. And just me at a spiritual level, that I feel dark. Not that the people are filled with darkness, but I feel that like the darkness, that's what they want to happen. People going back and forth, and so I just had to kind of take some breather for it for a minute. But I think this coming maybe Friday, next Friday, the 17th, whenever that is the next court hearing that will be on the pretrial, or I say pretrial, the court publicity, cameras and all that stuff in the courtroom. So that should be very interesting. Both sides are actually going to be presenting expert testimony about the news coverage that's been going on. So I'll be definitely interested to hear what these two competing experts have to say about the news coverage. I think many of y'all probably saw Barron's episode the other night. I don't think he was aware, like we have kind of been on my channel, of exactly how bad and negative and prejudicial a lot of the media has been. And he read the brief, I believe, of Tyler Robinson's attorneys and started to kind of agree with them on not having cameras because, again, and not that I agree with that per se, and I'm like him too. It's like I always want fair and open courts, but it is one. And in particular, he raised the fact that, like, Donald Trump, the vice president, the governor of Utah, the attorney general of Utah, the local sheriff, like they all came out like insinuating his guilt and that he should get the death penalty for it. And so that is a rare case, obviously, right? It's a rare case that you have a president that would actually be commenting on a case like that. But hey, here we are. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a rare case. It's a special case. So, that being said, would the judge do it? I don't know. I tend to think judges, my opinion on the most offensive stuff I've seen beyond what Trump and all those other officials said was the body language and lip readers in there. Like, and to me, that's the issue, like inside the courtroom. I don't see how preventing cameras from coming in the courtroom is going to remedy in any way statements that had already been made by public officials, right? I hate to say it, but like it's been done. I mean, at that point, you have to ask, well, can he even get a fair trial, right? Can he even get a fair trial after, in the state of Utah, especially because they had so many high public officials, but you also have the president and vice president, and so can he even get a fair trial, period? I think is the question that we should be asking over, like, whether cameras should be in the courtroom. I believe that the camera setup that they've had for the last few court hearings, just looking at judge in the lectern, is more than appropriate. And maybe that's the only camera they let in there. I mean, maybe that's a remedy too, but I'm kind of conceptually looking at it a little bit different towards, these statements made by President Trump and them, that makes me think generally, can he even get a fair trial? Like, regardless of the cameras and whatever they're doing inside the courtroom. I don't know. To be honest, Barron also said that it was a pretty extensive legal brief, like 80 or 100 pages, which that is a pretty extensive brief. I'll admit. I mean, I've written briefs that long, or maybe a little bit longer, but still, though, it is a big, especially in a criminal case. Generally, criminal motions are much shorter and to the point than civil briefs, which are more, I don't know, like more like writing kind of a book or like a term paper or something like that. Anyways. So yeah, that's long. I'll try to get around to doing it, obviously, before the court hearing on Friday. But yeah, it's very interesting to hear Barron comment on that the other night too. Hey, Rolls, what's up? Yeah, a lot of people fear whether Tyler Robinson's even going to make it to trial. You know, again, don't speculate. I mean, not saying that's true or not, but you know, a lot of people feel that he might not, and man, I don't know. I sure hope so. I mean, I want to see this resolved. Obviously, one way or the other. I think it probably should go one way, but definitely want to see it resolved, right? I mean, man, if that happens, I mean, again, it's one of those scenarios you run through your head like people aren't just going to accept that. They're just, I mean, am I wrong? Are y'all just going to accept something like that? Like, oh, well, he just happened to have, got one in the side, and nothing we could do about it. Yeah, I don't know. Would y'all accept something like that? Let's see. Who are y'all talking about? Debbie saying in the beginning, I saw it too, and then everybody convinced me that it was just a towel. Y'all still looking at that video? Yeah, DC is built on a swamp. You're right, Susan. I lived there. I did a fellowship there. Yeah, literally built on a swamp, and then lots of swamps, Southern Maryland. Yep. A lot of y'all are saying abolish APAC. Hey, Mermaid Motion, how you doing? Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, or make them register as a foreign lobby. Yeah, I think again, I'm not going to go too far in on this, but I think that the relationship there has been kind of revealed for what it is, and I just don't think it's, I guess, American first. I guess I'll leave it at that. Let's see. Rick says the messages aren't adding up after Tyler was in custody. Yeah, no, because basically the timeline, like the 33 hours, right? Barron was talking about that the other night. He found some inconsistencies based on when Tyler like actually turned himself in, surrenders, or invoked his right to counsel, and then how they took that move and said, "Oh, he's not cooperating." So yeah, and then so yeah, in that obviously that timeline's been busted up. He was doing shadow analysis last night, busted up the other timeline about the pictures in front of Phil Lyman's people's house. Saying it was 8 something in the morning. It just didn't check out on the shadow docket, on Barron's shadow docket. It did not check out. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. Nosy Google, yeah, I want to hear testimony and see evidence. I do too. I mean, man, they've done one hell of a job in the current court record of dancing around the evidence as much as they can. They haven't really revealed. I mean, they've revealed some. Obviously, we know about a potential bullet fragment, maybe, but what the state of that testing is, I mean, we're in the dark about a lot of it. But hopefully, though, when they do eventually maybe have this preliminary hearing, we'd be able to hear at least a good bit of it, pending a trial on the merits to hear, obviously, the full bit if we're allowed access. It'll be interesting to see what Judge does. To be honest, if I remember correctly, the last hearing that they had, Judge didn't seem too much into it. Although it's a death penalty case, obviously, so he's going to entertain it. But I just got the impression he wasn't too into these defense motions. Not that he was upset with them for filing them, but just, he realized they're going through the motions and he's just trying to get through them. Rick says once jury is selected, it should be 100% up to the public if it gets that far. Well, I mean, theoretically it should, but again, judge has the right to gag order and sequester jurors, and can keep the media out if he feels it's so warranted. Again, I'm leaning on just my impression of watching Judge the last hearing, maybe two, is that he's probably not going to grant that motion for regarding inside the courtroom. But he may go double down on his gag order of witnesses, and maybe it might look into it. I don't know if he can, but maybe he gags the public officials too, and the prosecutor or censors them or something. Because, like I said, in reality, those statements by those public officials are much more harmful than the media coverage, because that obviously is going to reach a lot more people, and obviously these are public officials, and so people, I guess the tendency or the belief or the assumption is that those people are much more impressed by those people. I don't know. I'm not particularly, but hey, there's a lot of people, and I would imagine the state of Utah that would be swayed by those statements. So it'll be interesting. Obviously, I would love to see Vore Dyer, them questioning jurors. All that would be fun. Greg, do you think the defense left clues for us? That's a good question. I told y'all last time. I mean, I just keep going back and forth on, how deep does the psyop go? Speculation. I tend to kind of agree with Barron. I think the defense is not leaving anybody clues, and especially Tyler Robinson. But I don't know that for sure. But some of their moves have been kind of weird. Going all the way back. Well, for the one that making that motion private, which I agree. From the outside looking in, for right now, that alleged bullet fragment being inconclusive on whatever test they did is tending to be exculpatory, or tending to show Tyler Robinson's innocence, right? So, with that being said, I don't know why they kept that thing private. I don't know. It makes no sense. So that's, again, it's a really, that's the hardest read for me in this whole thing, to be quite honest with you. It's his defense team. That's the hardest read. But I'll still be diving into some of the briefs and stuff and seeing if I can find anything that can maybe shift me one way or the other. The judge may throw out if the prosecutor stuff up. Yeah, I think I'm going to do an episode or a live stream this next week and go back and revisit the due process paving over the crime scene series that I did, because obviously that due process argument would be trying to either get the charge thrown out or get, some lesser thing like a jury instruction or some other sanction. But to be honest, I mean, in this, anyways, I'll save it for the episode, because it's an interesting analysis now, especially in light of the bullet fragment. It's because, and this is just the way I'm looking at it, and I'm not going to go all the way back into it, but under the due process in Utah, for sure, the Tyler Robinson's attorneys would need to make an initial showing that the evidence that was destroyed or lost could have been, or there would have been a reasonable probability that it would have been exculpatory. Well, if the bullet fragment is, inconclusive, if I was the prosecution, I'd say, well, there might have been other bullet fragments down there that we might have been able to pick up and match it, right? And again, we can say, oh, it might not have been a bullet fragment, could have been placed there, all that, but just, taking a step back and just looking at what would likely be argued there. But anyways, we'll go deeper into it on another episode. I've been wanting to do that because I think that in light of some of the stuff that we know now, it would be worth a revisit. Let's see. Hey, Brett Booth. Hey, I was able to catch. I don't think I'm on stage no more. Okay, I guess I'm back now. Where was I? Oh yeah, Candace's episode tonight. I was able, again, I haven't caught a lot of videos other than a few of Barron's in the interim. But I did just happen to watch a lot of Candace's episode tonight. Woo, boy, she did. She went after Trump, man. I guess that True Social post he had yesterday, which was pretty offensive, it's pretty offensive. Yeah, she lit into him. She lit into him. She lit into him. Um, I'm actually going to be integrating Candace in to my comedy skit. I'll be publishing this next week. But yeah, it like between her and Barron, y'all. I mean, look, I'm a trial lawyer. I've seen lawyers investigate. You know, investigators investigate. Like investigate. Man, those two people there are relentless, and you know, I can't help but think to the extent other people are involved that they're in, you know, getting close to, they've got to be sweating. They've got to be sweating. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Speculation. Man, they got to be sweating. I definitely, to be honest with you, I'll say this for sure. Like Baron Coleman for U.S. Attorney General.
Yeah.
Next administration, dude. Like that dude needs to be Attorney General. Like I'll support him all the way there.
Yeah, I would definitely get behind that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's about doing the real work. You know what I mean? Like going after the real people who need to be brought down, you know, and respect the Constitution and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, it seems like most of these that have been in lately, they're just the kind that, you know, if it's not just an easy win that could get handed to them, you know, something that they can do with, you know, with no work and literally just take the credit and, you know, look good. And not step on too many toes or not step on the wrong toes.
Yeah, you know, the whole thing, it's like people wanting power is, man.
Yep.
It does bad things to some people, and I think we've unfortunately seen some of that. I mean, we've seen some of that for a long time, right? You know, in our political paradigm, both parties, obviously, but it's you know, I think what we're seeing now is just a symptom of the system building up over time, you know what I mean, and just kind of coming to a head in a lot of ways. So, you know, hey, I hope that we just all learn from this and just move forward. Like, you know, I think us staying together and trying to work this out together is probably the most important part of it, you know, because I think that's what they don't want, right?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. And that's just government, period. That's any administration.
Oh, it is, man.
That's especially the entrenched Washington, you know, that they want us fighting as much as possible. As long as we're fighting with each other, then we're not paying any attention to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is always the issue.
It's the intelligence agencies, man. I mean, I think when we talk about the deep state, we're really referring to them because, you know, it's kind of like down with E-Teen's thing. You know, the U.S. attorney later admitted that, like, they told him that E-Teen was part of intelligence, don't mess with him. But it's like, okay, dude, like, did you not have a spine to, like, stand up and, like, go tell Good Morning America? Like, hey, we got some problems in our intelligence agency. Let me tell you about this. Like,
talking about Alex Acosta.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. They said go easy on him. He's an asset. And, of course, well, and maybe they did, but according to him, they didn't go into details of what type of asset. But I believe we know that he was probably a little bit of CIA with a little bit of Mossad on the side, you know.
You know, but it's one of those things. It's like, I mean, I hate to think that you can reach a position or title or affiliation that would make you above reproach in a situation like that.
All you got to do is go to Washington, D.C. and just get a job. I mean, you don't even have to be elected, but, you know, especially if you're elected.
Man, dude.
It's bad. It's bad. Yeah. It's
bad. They were asking, did you see, you didn't get a chance to see Candace's show tonight, huh?
I did, boy. She
man, she's upset. Trump that post was kind of out of line. And
well, you know what the thing about it is, I mean, she can't tell me she's not upset, but she didn't really act all that, like, you could tell she was upset, but she was pretty level-headed and just ruthless.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Something else, man. Let me tell you,
it wasn't like she wasn't like she just went off and didn't you know, lost her mind. Like, she put a lot of thought into what all she said.
I tell you why Candace is dangerous, man, because, you know, black women are really strong women, dude, and really strong-willed, really strong-minded, and then she also is highly educated and very well. I mean, dude.
and conservative. So
Yeah, I don't want her coming out. I don't want her looking at me, man.
yeah,
God
and
bless her,
ex-liberal.
man.
That's even yeah. Yep. She's got she's very well rounded in her life experiences and
Yeah.
uh-huh.
And it's cool too because you can tell she's kind of going through a metamorphosis too of like realizing like all these systems and parties and politicalism like we're not worth a damn the whole time, and like so we're like experiencing that with her. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
her process through that she brings to her show, and it's pretty incredible. I mean, that's why she has. I mean,
She
she's good.
needs
Don't
it.
get me wrong, but I think that's she has so many viewers because it's so compelling to watch her going through it, and then like her
Look, even if
reflecting her thoughts and her investigation. I mean, it's incredible.
even if you disagree or even if she gets
Yeah.
something wrong, you cannot help when you after watching her for a bit, you cannot help but at least realize that she is being honest.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to realize how much work goes into what she does, and
Yes.
good God, how well she articulates it. I mean, like, there are just not too many people out there in the world that can get the point across better than her. Baron Coleman's another one. I mean, those
Yeah.
are two
Oh,
of
he's
the,
good. He's really
the best
good.
as
Yeah.
far as delivery goes.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, just she's got she's such a natural. I mean, like the expressions and everything. Like she has the best facial expressions.
She does. She does.
I don't know how long looking into the camera or talking into the camera it takes to get that good, but I hope one day to be that good.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I can tell you this. Since I've been doing the YouTube and stuff, like I've been getting more and more comfortable in front of the camera and stuff. I use
Oh
less
yeah,
outlines when I do like structured videos and
I was
stuff.
scared shitless the first couple times, and I don't know why. I'm not a shy
Yeah,
person,
yeah, no, I did
but
too. I just realized that like just being natural, being yourself is the best way to be, and I
yeah,
think when you get there, you can do that. But yeah, I don't think she has just a straight teleprompter either. I think
no,
that
I
she
don't know.
goes kind of point by point and
I
just,
think she's got bullet points.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think that's about it. I believe all
yeah,
that's natural. Just
yeah,
got the bullet point so she don't lose track of where she's at and just
yeah,
rock and roll with it.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
I was talking a little bit while you were gone about the Tyler Robinson trial,
mm-hmm.
number of different things, but like Barron talked the other night about the prejudicial effect of like all those public officials in Utah and then Trump and Vance, speaking out, in more or less implying that he's guilty and should be,
Yeah.
pushed to death. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's a unique case, right? Because
Oh yeah. Yep.
normally, I mean, just saying, normally a president, vice president definitely wouldn't have commented on it, but these other ones in Utah for sure, because it's a state case.
Right.
Your governor and your AG and your local sheriff and prosecutor are all saying this. Like I don't know if he's going to be able to get a fair trial in the state of Utah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think
I don't know
so.
for
I
sure,
really don't. I don't. But look, at the end of the day, Dan Bongino, I couldn't believe he. And usually the feds are the first ones to want to step in so they can take over something, run the show, get the credit. But, for some reason they act like they don't want to have anything to do with this. And
except the testing, they want to do the testing.
Oh yeah, they want to do that. Yeah. Let's offer to retest. What the ATF has already come up inconclusive, so we can make sure it comes back positive.
Oh my God,
That is a lose-lose. Look,
yeah.
So if they test it and it comes back negative, let's just say a best case scenario, it comes back negative after they test it, it's still going to be like, well, what the fuck? They tested it. Why did you feel like you needed to? You already had one highly funded, highly capable federal agency test it, and they came back inconclusive. Why did you feel the need? Then just say it comes back positive. Well, that's going to be way worse.
I said too, if I'm correct, the testing the FBI is wanting to do is destructive, meaning that I think they're going to do that.
I know they're going to do
gunpowder
that
test
lead
where they like
analysis or whatever.
literally. I would imagine they would dissolve that fragment in a solvent and then run it through the machine. But after that, presumably there wouldn't be any more of the fragment
Well,
left.
to get down to the bare, to get down precise enough, I would think you would have to, have it in a mass spectrometer or whatever.
Yeah. So if that happens, then they can destroy it. That way, no one else can test it, and therefore,
Oopsies.
whatever their results are, everyone just has to go with.
Yeah. Oopsies. Yep. Yeah. I was listening while I was getting up here and getting swapped over. I know you were talking about what was it exactly? Anyway, something made me think of it. All the talk of tainting the jury pool and all that. They're always they're always really confident that us talking will taint the jury pool against or for Tyler, whereas they don't feel like them talking shit every day is going to taint the jury pool against Tyler. You know what I'm saying? Like they act like this is a one-way street. But what got me, and he made this video today. That's what it was. When you were talking about Tyler Robinson and his parents and them, taking him in and all that. He does it. I think he does it once a day. Oh, Jack Posobiec. He was like, y'all with all the alternative theories, y'all just answer me this one question. Why did his parents turn him in? And blah, 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 blah. He says the same thing. That's all he knows, I guess. And he does it over and over and over again. But this is the way I'm looking at it. All right, so they've already said that the prosecution's going to compel them to testify, right? Which means they're going to have to, for all intents and purposes, testify against Tyler. Now, how against him it'll be remains to be seen. But they're going to be testifying for the opposing side. So, at the end of the day, would they not just automatically? I mean, would they not have a gag order also? I mean, like, if he was going to put it on all possible witnesses, would they not be
in the case? Like, but the thing is, I think when everybody remembers that they're not eyewitnesses. Okay, like they did not see their son do this. No. And to be honest with you, when I read the current information indictment on file, it's not real clear that they did turn him in per se. I don't think they did. It just kind of insinuates that they had a hunch it was him.
I think that when they saw the pictures, maybe a description, maybe some other things, they at least thought he looked enough like, because that's a shitty picture.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know either way. Like, they could still look at a picture and say that looks like my kid, but at the same time not believe for a second that he would do something like that. Yeah. They don't have to necessarily think he would do it to say, oh God, the news is showing these pictures. The cops think our kid did this. You know what I mean? Like, you have to at some point have to say, okay, well, let's be safe. Let's get him. Let's take him down there instead of having them pick him up thinking he's an armed, dangerous person, and, some trigger-happy cop, plug at him in the middle of the night when he goes to scratch his butt or something.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Or somebody that's, convinced he did it and really loved Charlie Kirk and wants to take,
all those scenarios could have been possible. Or,
but, that's what I'm wondering is did they think that did they ever for a second think that their son did this, or did they think, okay, they're looking for somebody that looks like our kid. They probably think it is our kid, especially after some time. Let's just get him up there and let the system work itself out, or whatever. Kind of trust the system instead of just leaving it out there to chance. And I don't know.
Yeah, I find that then there's this I think allegation. Maybe it's true that like he claimed he was suicidal for a bit to his parents, and then that kind
but
of.
But again, that don't make sense. Because even in that charging document, they say that it says that he had the suicidal. What is suicidal?
He showed up to his first court hearing in the turtle suit, so they obviously had him on suicide watch.
But at the same time, though, it says, I believe in the charging documents, does it not say though that he was worried that they were going to? Either I thought they said he was worried, either him or his parents. Somebody was worried about a possible confrontation with law enforcement.
Yeah,
I think that was.
I can't remember if it says that in there or not, but I mean, I think that's what Barron was relating in his video maybe a couple days ago.
But there's just a big difference between, I think my kid did this, and I think they think my kid did this, and we should get him up there for his own good and get this sorted out. Even if it means him going and sitting in jail. Because regardless, at some point he's going to jail, hopefully, if they don't kill him, getting him there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, and Barron also is under the he believes too, and I guess I do. Like, I don't think he was supposed to make it that long. I don't think he was supposed to make it to the jail. I don't think he's supposed to make it to the jail.
No, I don't either. And see, that is another reason I feel like that possibly they took him. And Barron touched on that. He wonders
Yeah.
if he wasn't supposed to be picked up, and them doing that may have, you know, may have sidelined their plans there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there might have been a few things that went on that day.
There's a lot of times in
sidelines and plans.
situations like that they don't make
Yeah.
it. They don't make it to, and I'm still concerned that he's not going to make it to trial because
Yeah,
If
they
he
were
d-
saying that in the chat too earlier.
I mean if he doesn't make it to trial, there's two problems. One, all of the evidence is going to just go away and nobody will ever see it, and two, he'll be guilty forevermore. No matter what we all say, if he kills himself, you know the story's going to be all the guilt, all the blah 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 from the horrible deed that he did, and he ended it, and we got him justice one way or the other.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand. Why do you not just let this thing play out? Because, well, look, it seems very unlikely that he did it, and so if y'all hang him, that's not justice for Charlie. You can kill as many innocent people as you want. That doesn't get.
Yeah, I know.
any
Yeah, that
justice.
just makes it worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes the whole situation worse.
Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely.
look, I think that I think there's a large enough contingent of people in this country that are aware of what's going
It's
on.
getting there.
Yeah, maybe in the mainstream media it'll go away, but I don't think it was going to be going away for a lot of people until the true perpetrators are brought to justice. Again.
Yeah, I think that I think we keep on, and I think we keep and they start feeling the pressure, start feeling the heat, especially if he does by chance make it to trial. I feel like, and I believe you feel the same way. I know Lionel Nation feels that way. If it goes to trial, he's more than likely going to get acquitted.
I think so too.
So in that case, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to lose their effing minds, and when they do, they are going to be looking at and they ain't going to be looking to the state of Utah. They're going to be looking at the federal government, saying, "Hey, what the hell?
Yeah.
You better find somebody."
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, oh yeah, I got sidetracked off that. See, I'm like Trump. I always come back around to it. But
Yeah. You got it.
anyway,
The only way out is through, Adam. The only way out is through.
Shit, about lost it again. I think I did. It's been a long day.
Dude, I know. Trust me.
Give me 2 minutes, it'll come back. God, I hate that.
Oh, good. Dude.
I got a lot of thoughts running through my head. I guess
Yeah.
I was trying to hem one up. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I hope he makes it to trial.
Yeah, me too. I'll say this too. It's like in the county jail. Obviously, I've been in this county jail before. County jail.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, dude, there shouldn't be too. I mean, obviously in New York with 18. I mean, I still don't know if I buy all that, but like.
Right.
That's a little bit closer to a place where something like that would happen. But like,
Yes.
dude, I tell you, in that county jail in Utah, if he doesn't make it because something there,
That's right.
it's just
exactly.
really unlikely of a scenario, man. It just,
They would have a
not that
harder
county
time
jails are good; they
explaining that.
suck, but the people in there are.
I think they'd have a
generally-
harder time explaining that.
Yeah, I think so too. Because he's the most high-profile defendant in the country.
Yeah, but so is Einstein.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. But from what I understand, to be quite honest, is like where E-Teen was actually kind of like there that county jail's kind of like a prison, like
Yeah,
But
yeah.
again, they said he committed suicide.
Well,
It's
I mean,
like-
but now I don't really know about this place in Utah either, because at the end of the day, wherever they're keeping Tyler is where they keep murderers and dangerous people.
I would
mean,
imagine they should be keeping him in an isolation cell. Or
I would
with-
hope so. I would
Yeah.
hope so. Not in general population.
No, I don't see him being in general population.
And if he is, and somebody if he catches a shiv, then we're
Yeah, the thing about county jail though is that there's so many people or normal ones. It's like it's just hard to even make a shiv in that environment
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's much more closely monitored and stuff
yeah,
like that. And
yeah.
not saying never, definitely not never. I think I've seen, but it's just not as like common of a
Yeah.
thing.
I
It's
think he does stand a better chance now that you say that. I didn't think about that. He is in county jail instead of, being in a.
it would probably have to be it would have to be something like E-Teen taking his own.
Well, that's what I was going to say, but that does not cover the self harm. So, again, hopefully.
Yeah.
Um,
But at this juncture, though, I would say that if he's not suicidal, it would be obviously be less likely. And yeah, obviously, E-Teen went in jail that long. Tyler's been there for quite some time. I'm pretty sure he's probably been getting regular psychiatric talks and evaluations and stuff. And
so this is the thing about it, though. Einstein's lawyer said that he was not suicidal.
Yeah, so did the psychologists and stuff.
Exactly, but yet all they have to do is mandatory send you and put you on suicide watch. And I mean, who are you to argue?
No, you're right.
And they say, he was showing signs of suicidal, and they put him in suicide watch, whether he is or he isn't. And then you've got your pretext, when something happens to him that looks like suicide. So they can do if they want to do it bad enough, they can. But like I said, we just say a little prayer every night. And like I said, it's not just because I love Tyler Robinson. I don't really know how I feel about him other than
me neither. Because I don't know. I can't believe them it's kind of like I said the other night with the furry thing. It's like the only furry pictures I see are like Lance Twiggs with like some goofy looking like hats on or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if that's like they leaving a furry. I mean, again, I don't know what they're into.
I don't know that it is either. I mean, the only other pictures I've seen of him are those pictures that were grabbed in Texas since he's moved down there. And he just looked like a weird kid. But I mean,
yeah, exactly, dude.
So,
like man, it makes you wonder just how far how long, how far, how deep, furry, how wide this whole thing goes, dude.
Was he even a furry, or did they find him with a hoodie on that had some some goofy ass?
I don't know, because I did on one of my shows. I looked at I was like pictures of furries, and like most furries are like way out there, like totally like in these costumes and stuff. Man, I was like, I don't see any of those there.
They're on all fours going yee or woof woof.
Yeah. So I'm like you. I don't know what to think about him, man. Like I don't
feel any particular way about him. I just feel like their story is bullshit. So if their story is bullshit, then that means there's somebody else. I don't for a minute have any reason to think that Tyler was not involved. I just don't feel like
I mean, I
don't feel like he was involved to the extent they're saying.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I have the hardest time believing he pulled a trigger, that a trigger was even pulled. I mean, like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, being somewhat tangentially involved, like, hey, you got to go drop a gun or something. I mean, I definitely can't rule that out.
Surprise me.
Like not capital murder, like it's a long way from it.
It wouldn't surprise me, and like I said, honestly, I feel like there's a chance. I feel like there's a better chance that he did than he didn't. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he probably was involved in some way. Mm-hmm. So, and look, he needs to do the time for whatever crime he committed. But to hang him on the whole thing, if he did not impact,
the thing is, it's like. The prime, and again, I'm speculating here, but it's like the crime he probably committed by the time they like get to trial, he have like good time served. You know what I mean?
Time served. Yeah.
Served.
That's bad, ain't it? That's bad. Oh no, I know. Well, that was something else. I got sidetracked on was talking about the Cash Patel and Dan Bongino. The feds are always really eager to step into an investigation and take over. Be the big dogs, get the credit. But for some reason, they have seemed like they want to stay distance from this one. And I remember hearing Dan Bongino on a show not too long ago saying like, You know, why would we do anymore? What else would we do? Blah blah blah. Why would we? You know, it's a murder case. It's a state. It's state. It's not federal. The last I checked, and maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in that case, would that not be considered a political?
Yeah, they could have made, and again,
They
I
could
don't know
have
the specific
easily,
provisions, but I think they could have made a case for federal jurisdiction.
easily. I feel
And,
like.
in the very least, because a lot of the actors, like Charlie, came from out of state. Like it was, even
Yeah,
though it happened
lots of
in
state lines
Utah,
being crossed.
people from other states were coming together to
Yep.
make this occur. So yeah.
Yep. Besides the fact, like I said, I think there's no way. Matter of fact, they're framing it as a political assassination, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, if it's over the whole trans thing, is that not by definition, a political?
Well, Charlie, for all intents and purposes, was a political figure.
Yes, even though he's not elected, he's definitely a political figure. And then
Yeah.
for somebody to kill him because they disagree with his stance on transgender stuff, that's a political issue, political and moral and a few other things
and also
too. But
think about this: if he had all these Discord messages and part of these Discord groups,
there
I
you
mean,
go, different states.
those people most definitely were probably all over the country, maybe all over the
Yeah.
world, right? So federal
Yep.
case there, international, or federal conspiracy.
Another reason why I feel like they have wanted to, kind of avoid that stuff too as much as possible because there's a reason why they want to keep it there in
But they want to do the testing, though. It's okay to do the testing.
Yeah.
But, we don't want anything else to do with it. Like, come on now. Come on now.
Yep.
I just wonder, like, do these people wake up in the morning and think about, I wonder how this is going to look? Or I wonder what people
No.
I mean, apparently
No.
not.
No. Look at that asshole governor they got. I mean, he's a Republican, but I don't give a shit. That Spencer Cox, oh my God. And just let me tell you, I generally try not to make fun of people for stuff they can't help, but I really dislike him to the point I could probably sit here and make an hour-long show just making fun of his last name.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for my comedy show, man. It's gonna be some good ones there, dude. I've got a few jabs I'm gonna take, like at the Charlie Kirk situation and like Erica, So it's gonna be
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's
Oh,
gonna
I mean,
be good,
look,
man.
if you're not borderline pissing somebody off, it's not going to be funny, or at least not to me.
It's so dark. I don't know what else to do, but just to kind of like try to do some kind of make light out of some stuff.
There's a difference
Like,
between there's a difference between what you're talking about and dressing up like you've got a hole in your neck, and that's a little different.
yeah.
You're not making fun of what happened to Charlie.
Oh no, not at all.
just
Like,
trying
I'm really
I
making
know.
fun of the people. That
around
unfortunately, did it to him in a way. Like, man, dude.
the ones that sure are acting awful sketchy about it anyway.
Dude, I mean, yeah, I was saying that too. Like, bro, those people have to be sweating bullets with.
I know they are.
Baron and Candace out
Look,
there.
anybody that sends out a cease and desist letter to Project Constitution is, sweating bullets.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not a Baron Coleman or a Candace Owens, which, I mean, they haven't really got anything. Baron Coleman's never gotten anything, and Candace, I mean, got the one but hadn't heard shit back from it yet. And they're not going to do it. I heard Gary and Gary Melton and Lisa Knows Nothing, they were doing that show. I always say it's Lisa Knows Shit, but anyway, they were doing their show, and they were like, these people, they keep talking all this smack about how, sue me, they don't want to sue me because I'll get discovery. He was like, these people should know better. He said they should know. I mean, you get discovery, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get to discovery on anything and everything in their whole life. And I was like, no shit, Gary. But if they're asking these questions or digging into these particular things and they don't like it and say, therefore, those things are defaming me,
yeah.
they do get discovery on
Yeah,
every
they don't have to do a
single one
fishing
of them.
expedition on specific claims, dude. Like, you don't have to do a fishing expedition on specific claims. I'll just do it like that. Yeah.
But anything that was related to the defamation would be fair game, correct?
It sure would. Yeah,
that's
sure
what I'm
would.
saying, and that's all they want.
Truth is a defense and a action for defamation. So yeah, I mean, anything that you can get from the party to help you prove the truth of your claims is
Right,
obviously
exactly. And he's acting like, you know what, you'll get discovery, but you're not going to get all these questions that you've got now answered. Well, yeah, I will, because if that's what's defaming them, then they have to give me discovery to. So anyway, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
A lot of his points are
and if I remember correctly, for public officials and public figures,
that's a different story anyway.
They have to prove like a hot, and I think it switched between states. Some states they have to prove falsity. Some states truth is a defense. But either way, it's fair game for both parties.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure most, especially of a public figure, you have to really be able to.
Yeah, they have to show a higher level of
did
culpability. They have to show actual malice. And so,
knowingly
it's very
did
hard.
it, and not just knowingly do it, but knowingly do it for a nefarious or malicious reason, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, have like reckless disregard for the truth or like knowledge that it's false.
But when you put yourself out in the public, I mean, that's just a given that you're going to get
some
scrutiny.
It is. It comes with the territory. It really does.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to think that anybody in this day and age is going into this type of whatever space, or the kind of space that Erica and, you know, the whole TPUSA crowd is in. Anybody, I would hate to think anybody would go into any of those spaces and not expect that kind of scrutiny. And that's what kills me about the whole situation. It's like they act like Erica is just, why would you? You know, like, it's Erica Kirk. Yeah, it's Erica Kirk. I mean, she's Charlie Kirk's, you know, widow, and besides that, you know, she's nobody knew who she was, and so she has very intentionally made sure everybody knows who she is now, for better or for worse, and seems like mostly for worse.
For her, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, worse for everybody involved, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, for her, like, there's not too many people.
It's worse for everybody involved. Whoa.
There's not too many people that have just learned about Erica Kirk in the past 7 months that have, you know, grown to love her, right? I mean, like, maybe, but pretty sure anybody that's just meeting her for the first time is probably
I haven't. I mean,
really
everyone I've met's like, dude.
I mean, I knew he was married, but that's it. I had no idea who she was, and the more I find out who she is, the less I'm impressed.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh man, dude. Yeah.
Unless we find out for sure that she was some kind of, you know, agent placed there, which, I mean, I got our asset, or, you know, some kind of handler that was placed there, and which I got a feeling it could very well be. But in that case, I'll be impressed, because, you know, for her to be like, for her to have all that dirt, you know, over the years, and all the skeletons that were stashed back so, you know, so good that her husband and nobody found out about it for years and years and years, and now finally it's coming out. Like, she did a pretty good job of hiding a lot of that.
Yeah, well, I think it's because, you know, she's being handled by I hate to say the best, because there's nothing good about it, but like the most professional at that type of stuff, you know.
I was going to say
that.
Yeah, they've probably had to, you know, back off and keep it at arm's distance lately. You know, that's one thing I've thought about. You know, how did this go unnoticed? How would her husband not notice? How would this not, you know, like, how would somebody's done a little digging into Erica Kirk over the years? Maybe not to the extent that, you know, maybe not as many people, and maybe not with, you know, as much resolve, but you know, somebody's looked into her. Why didn't anybody find any of this? And you're right, she was probably being suppressed, but, you know, at the end of the day, now that she's coming to the forefront and the limelight, and with people being very, very interested, they probably had to just be like, okay, you're on your own, sorry, you know.
Well, and I wonder too if, you know, if this investigation goes so far as to like start maybe identifying her and some of these other people being involved, like, are they going to make it? You know what I mean? Are they going to make it? You know, like, I really think that there are puppets pulling those strings, man, and those puppets.
They've got
It ain't just like they're just gonna get like they gonna kick you to the curb, then they gonna do you in type thing. You know what I mean? Like, because and again, those are the type of situations that run in my head. Like, man, the people behind it and just speculation. Like, man,
and I mean,
imagine what they're capable of.
Look, you know that she's bound to have some. Sooner or later, we're going to find out. There. I feel like there's something there. There's a there. Whether it's having anything directly to do with his dispatch or not, I feel like she was there for a reason. But regardless, you know, it can't just be her. For one, without Tyler, there is no Erica. So I'd say that, you know, and look at what's his name, Colvett, Andrew. You know, his daddy in Hollywood working for the Kimmel Show. You know, and then you know he tries to get with Charlie, and Charlie's like, nah, you know, and so. And again, Tyler Boyer, I'm pretty sure, was who put them in contact. But, you know, and miraculously they get in touch. And so, a lot of orchestration there, you know.
Yeah, you know, they just, I mean, again, speculation, they just overshot their shot. You know, Andrew Colvett, Terrell Farnsworth, they're not they're not fit to, like, make it, like, to be slick enough. And you know, badass enough to like make it through something like this without completely cracking eventually. I do feel.
Yep. I mean, you could see Andrew sometimes when he's talking about this stuff. You can literally see the beads of sweat popping up, and rolling off his forehead. You know.
Yeah, I mean, again, they have to be sweating bullets, man.
Don't you know every time? Don't you know every time he sees, you know, Colvett on X, he's like, he stops and scrolls back to see.
Yeah.
What's it about?
Yeah, because he's a PR guy too, so you know he's into all that.
Yep. Yeah, and honestly, if I was them, he'd done been fired a long time ago because the PR's not going well.
No, I mean, I don't, you know, at this juncture, it's like, just my impression, like when I see him talk, her talk, it's just all self-serving. You know what I mean? Like they're just out there saying self-serving stuff. And so, in that he's conflicted out of the PR job. Like all you're gonna be able to say is just serving things. Tyler Robinson did it. He's guilty of blah. Well, of course you're saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course you're saying that.
Of course. But, you know, as long as it's Tyler Robinson, then they don't look any further. But, like
the government doesn't seem to be right now, but, you know, I don't know if that'll change or what.
I don't think anybody's ever going to be satisfied unless there's at least a real investigation.
Yeah.
And it's like I've said on the last couple shows I've done too. I think the other really big thing, and they know it, they have to know it, something really big politically is going to be this whole Philly issue. If not in, this year in the midterms, if not in the midterms, definitely by 2028. Whether or not you take them shekels or not is going to probably be a big determining factor on whether you get elected or not.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah. So I think that's obviously a very good thing. I think people most definitely are putting that issue.
People are just done with it.
And, you know.
Oh, yeah. And I heard somebody bring up the whole, I think you were reading a comment, said something about banning APAC. I said, yeah, that's right. We were watching APAC clips last night talking about APAC. So, I feel like that's going to be a big thing. And you know that one's got to be sweating bullets too when he's not blowing shit up.
Oh, you're talking about the supreme leader over there?
No, BB.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Yeah,
supreme asshole.
You know, I tend to think, again, just my opinion, speculation. I think he's so damn crazy and evil that he doesn't sweat bullets at all. You know what I mean? Not. Like I think he thinks he's invincible, dude.
No, probably not. You're right.
I think he's got visions of grandeur, bro.
Yeah. Honestly, he's probably like, when all these people come into it, like, oh my God, you should hear what they're talking about now. This is bad. And he's all like, calm down, calm down.
Yeah. Calm down. We're all fine. We will
We'll
be
just
fine.
send them. We'll just send them a golden pager too.
Yeah.
We'll be okay.
Dude, yes.
Like that is the worst veiled threat I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Someone that bold and like to come out right after and say we had nothing to do with Charlie's death,
yeah.
and really in a smug kind of way.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that dude's out his
emotion.
box, man. He's out his box, like, dude. He's not. It's one of those people. They're like, hey, Greg, you want to go like have lunch with the Prime Minister of this? No, I'm good, dude. I'm good. I'm gonna sit here at my house, man.
Hey, how do I sound to you? Miss Susan said my mic sounds like it's acting up.
It's a little fuzzy, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I swear to God. I don't know what's up lately. Ever since. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, you got the good one too. You got the sure. I gotta get me one.
Sorry, I muted myself. Is that any different, better?
Oh,
worse?
that's a lot better. Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay. I've got to start restarting that thing. I think that's what it is. I unplugged the power, plugged it back in, it went back to working. I don't think it's the microphone. I'm pretty sure it's that.
I need to get me one. I think I'm eventually going to move my office to that new studio space we got, but I just love it up here at the Eagles Nest so much.
Oh, it's nice up there. I'm glad. Appreciate that, Susan. Hey, always, whenever y'all hear it messing up like that, say something. I'm learning the trick, so when it sounds like that, I know how to take care of it now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I probably should have said something, man. It's just it's late good for me, dude. I'm like, I'm hearing those sounds in my head. Like, what is that?
It's kind of late for me too. So, yeah. Well, actually. Yeah, I would always love to be asleep right now, but at 10:30, yeah, I'm just getting started.
Yeah, dude,
I got to get going earlier.
I've been 4:30 to 8. I work 4:30 to 8:30, in bed by 9:30 every night.
That's rough.
But hey, it's the weekend, man. I need to stay up. I did take some time off today. We went out in nature and stuff, so like I'm not as burned out like mental wise as I normally am at this time.
Yeah. There's nothing like going and chilling outside.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude. Yeah. We went out to the river today and it was beautiful. And there's some grandparents had their kids out there running around and stuff. It was really nice. I like it here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're in a nice spot there.
Yeah. I, my mother-in-law and my other people, they live over on the other side of the mountain, and we went over there for obviously Easter, and we went over there a couple days before for my mother-in-law's birthday, and like she watches you, she watches me, she watches everybody else, and like I mean everybody knows, at least everybody I'm around, that like this Charlie Kirk thing is
it's not right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing about it. It's bad when people that just don't ever pay any attention to that kind of thing, just whether they know why or not, it just doesn't set right with them.
I remember we were staying at their house whenever it happened, and my mother-in-law was actually the first one to tell me about it. And then I went and looked at it, and I watched it. I said, dude, my first thought was, that's not a 30-06.
No.
Dude, you get shot with a 30-06, man. I knew that from the start, dude. I said, this is no good right here, man.
No, I was driving down the road, and I can't remember who or how. I don't remember now, but somebody had said, I don't remember if I saw a post on it or if it was a text message or what. But anyway, somebody said something about Charlie Kirk. There was no way. And so I went to look, and the first thing I found was that video.
Oh.
And, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, what the hell happened? And then, I seen the report about him allegedly being shot. At that point, just shot, okay. It wasn't too unbelievable at that point. But then when they started giving details about how and what and all that, then it starts to not make sense anymore. You know, 30-06, nah, no way.
Yeah, and then Baron last night with the shadow analysis, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you just know, like when you got a lawyer like Baron pulling a shadow analysis on some images and stuff, dude, it's about game over for you.
Yeah, well,
It's
Gary
about game
Melton
over
says
for
that's
you,
all
dude. You don't pull
bullshit.
out the shadow analysis, dude. You ain't got nowhere to
Yep.
go.
Gary Melton said that's all bullshit.
And he called out Phil Lyman too. He said Phil Lyman,
Yeah.
that's his people's place. They are the ones that gave the timestamps, dude.
Well, I mean, it is. And
It's
look,
true.
that doesn't necessarily mean he's got anything to do with it. But at the end of the day, I mean, I got questions, and most people do have questions.
Coaching witness.
He's related to everybody there.
I got some questions for him too, man. Like coaching them kids out there. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah. And how did what's the name of that freaking that media company that always gets the crazy stories? Oh God, the first ones that broke the ring camera footage. Oh God, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
TMZ.
Yes, TMZ. Good Lord. Yeah. How did TMZ get his aunt? I think it's his aunt or somebody. How did they get her?
Yeah,
apparently
his family owns like that neighborhood.
They
like,
do. That's what I said. He's owned to
there.
everybody. Everybody there. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that seems consistent with my understanding of the nuclear family configuration for most people in Utah, like very large and like,
Yeah, very nuclear.
yeah. And I mean, that would indicate to me that his family's probably very well established in Utah if they own like most of the land by the university and stuff like that, and one thing I'd say too is like, there were people pumping a lot of money into a bunch of Zionists, pumping money into, Turning Point. And so you got to think that if they were going to take out Charlie in order to take back over the thing for the purposes, like they would have thrown a lot of money at that, dude. They would throw a lot of money, a lot of resources at it.
Yeah, because how much money is at stake?
Yeah. Yeah,
especially when you got somebody like Charlie with some morals and some backbone.
Well, yeah, and another thing too, like I'd say, people, it's like, man, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, let's just say, for instance, speculation that it did come out that Erica Kirk and them were involved, or like Andrew Colvett, but they said like, look, we had to be involved like under compulsion, like under duress, like they said they were going to office, I mean, what do you say that though? Because you look at like, okay, well, look what they did to Charlie. Like, I mean, yeah, if someone who did that to it said, if you don't go along with this, you're going to.
But they can't.
What are you going to do?
They can't just say that though. At the end of the day, that would have to be proved out. And I'm sure
proved out. But what I'm saying though is, I mean, I think
it's
that
very believable,
somewhat believable. Like I think that would be worth looking into because woo, these are the type of people who are very evil, man. And like,
and look, Joe
whether
Kent
compromised for money or threat of duress, under duress, like man.
Yep.
Maybe a combination of all three.
I mean, but look at Joe Kent. So I mean, he never would directly say that he thought there was anything there that there was absolutely a there.
Oh, he wouldn't.
But he seemed pretty concerned about the fact he seemed to be pretty concerned about what he didn't get to look into.
Yeah, I think he knows what's at stake there.
Well,
for him personally, like going out and saying all this stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
He knows what's at stake.
He knew what was going to happen, but and also, I mean, he said several times that when he would get pressed a little bit further to what exactly, he would always say, I can't get into the details of what exactly, but yes, trust me, there are leads there that did not get followed. And I think he's talking about something more substantial than a public, group text message. I think that whatever he's talking about is something a little more.
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, I think he spoke as much truth as he could, but also think that he threw a little misdirect in there a little bit.
Could be.
I mean, again, I think if he did, it was probably just to save his own life.
Yeah,
you know, like
know.
I can't like be hate on him for it. You know,
Live to
I
fight
fully
another
understand,
day.
you know,
Live to fight another day.
out of all the people, he definitely knows, you know, what those people are capable of.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, so
yeah. I mean, that's his job is or was his job is looking into all that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I don't know. I hope the foreign aspect gets looked into in one way or the other.
yeah. It that makes more sense to me than some domestic trans group. It just does. Like
Yeah.
I
Now,
just don't see them
look,
going that far.
if that's the case, then you have to necessarily separate them from everybody else that by all appearances allegedly seems to have some prior knowledge or
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
exactly. It's like, man, why exactly? If they're in these Discord groups
who are
planning
they
this
tied
stuff,
up
where
more
are the
with?
other people getting arrested?
Well, I mean, but at the end of the day, who? So all these turning point people that seem to have these dirty, shady things going on, and that we're doing shady things and have appear to, not really be mourning too much. That includes Miss Kirk.
Yeah,
Um, who has closer ties to them? The freaking trans community or the Philly community? And that's why I say if it's the trans community, then everybody else just kind of gets a pass because, well, I mean, they're just acting funny. They probably didn't have any direct ties to the tranny people. But if it turns out to be nation state, then it would be easy for me to see them working together with those people at Turning Point.
yeah,
And maybe not. No, obviously all that would have to be proven out, but um, it makes more sense to me that it is the foreign aspect. Um, especially with all the Fort Huachuca, there's just everything. Like there's so much
yeah. I mean, and for me, it seemed to be very highly organized.
the Egyptian planes that were Egyptian planes, but probably operated by Philadelphia folk. Um, the Barron had that one person in the military that was telling him that yeah, it may be an Egyptian plane, but and they'll even show flying into Cairo, but in fact they won't actually be flying into Cairo. They'll have the transponder on and they'll fly in like they're going to land at Cairo and then turn it off and turn
Yep.
around and land back in Philly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
have
it's
to
an
see.
interesting thing, man. I'm gonna catch up this week on some of the court filings and do some videos and stuff like that ahead
Yeah,
of the upcoming court date.
yeah. Gary did a hour and a half, 2 hours tonight. Him and Lisa No Shit. They were doing a video on all this. He called it what did he say? What did he call it? Like a huge amount of evidence that's come out in the past. Whatever. I didn't look at it like it was a huge
It
amount that
it
came out.
pains me to even hear about this.
I
Like,
know it. I know it. Talk about fingernails on a chalkboard. Just, yep.
mm-mm.
But anyway, it is definitely worth looking into. I hadn't yet seen
Yeah,
anything that was just earth shattering. But now, like I said, the stuff that Gary, oh, I'm sorry, Barron. Stuff that Barron and Candace have been talking about the last couple of weeks, so it's been pretty crazy. I mean, the fact that I mean, by all appearances, they waited so they could say that he was found in 33 hours. Such an odd number. They could have cut that off. At 30 hours probably.
yeah.
The fact that he
Well,
was in
and
there.
you think too, it's like, wouldn't cops want to report they found them sooner rather than later? Doesn't
You
that
would
mean you're
think.
kind of doing your job a little bit better? Like, what,
Yep,
dude?
yep. You should have heard the argument Gary was making tonight too. I found this pretty crazy. He was like, "Now this is how this. It's probably a good thing he quit being a lawyer because obviously he sucks at being a lawyer and blah 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 blah.
Oh,
You know what? But this is
listen
listen to why though. This is what he said. He said he was reading all that information about when he got there and how the order of events were, and he said so yes, he got there at 6:25, and what he said is Barron is claiming that he was more than likely he was Mirandized by like around 6:30. 6:25 is when it says that he got there. Well, Gary says, why would they do that? Why would they do that? More than likely, and the other part is if he went in at 6:25, how did he post to Discord the whole, I did it. It was great. It was fun. Appreciate all the support and blah, 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 blah. That supposedly happened at like 9:30 that night. I can't remember. So how did he do that after he got to the jail at 6:25? Well, Gary says, oh, no. They took him in there. They probably wouldn't even took his phone. Why would they read him his Miranda rights? I'm sure they waited until the FBI investigators got there and everything. Then maybe they read him his rights. It's like Gary said, though, why would you do that? He could be sitting there and just talking to some Joe Blow sitting on the bench and said, yeah, I did it. And guess what? If his rights ain't read to him, you can't use it.
Yeah, that's right. No, you're exactly right. They would have, again, rushed. They might have even done it when they picked him up, or again, as soon as they made official contact with him.
I would think
that would have been one of the first orders of business, because like you say, if he goes to just blab in his mouth and he hadn't been read his Miranda rights, well, then you can't
use it
right against him.
Yeah. So I think that Gary's badly mistaken on that they would let him sit there for 3.5 or 4 hours with his phone without reading him his rights. I just think that is a new level of cope, or new level of trying to, explain the.
Yeah, the mental gymnastics only goes so far, and with a lot of the commentators on the other side, it's like I can't even listen to them no more, because it's that intellectually dishonest.
Yes, I mean, like what Barron said is an absolute, fact. At least the part about why they would have read him his rights. Maybe they're that dumb. Maybe they messed up that bad. But it is fact that if they had not read him his rights and, they were overhearing him say something incriminating, they cannot use that. So there is good reason to believe that they would have done that as soon as he got there.
And if they didn't, that's odd. And that means
that is very odd.
That seems something's going on there.
And also, how, if that is the case, and he got there at 6:30, how did he put messages on Discord at like 9:00 at night? Might make you wonder if either the little furry put the messages on there, or maybe one of the Patels put the messages on there even. And
wouldn't you imagine they probably kicked in his door simultaneously? Like, I'm sure they ran to kick that door in.
You would think, but regardless, and then the answer to that is no, that's stupid. That's stupid. Why would they take his phone? Why would they read him his rights? I'm sure he just sat there with his phone posting on Discord without his rights being read. Like, okay. What kind of an argument is that?
Well, again, if that's the case, then this is very irregular. And, they need
not that it's irregular, not irregular enough already.
Yeah. Anytime they take someone into custody, so if he had come up there, turned himself in, he would have been taken into custody. People get read their Miranda rights outside their car.
I would say that's exactly what I was going to say. He probably got his rights read to him before his head got ducked in there.
Yeah, well, I think they just showed up at the station, to be quite honest with you.
Well, yeah, that's right. Never mind. They drove.
So that would have been another even more for sure deal, right? Because obviously in the station they have more solid procedures and
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
but before he walked in that front door, he probably got read his rights.
Probably so.
And I don't know. I just think when I heard him say that Barron's a bad lawyer because he assumes that they would have read his rights when he got there. Okay. We see now why you're not a lawyer. He's been listening to that chick too much. What's that chick lawyer that he talks to all the time? what is her name? I guarantee you the chat will pop it up in here in a second. You know him talking about those. He's
Yeah,
having,
I definitely know who you're talking about. Yeah,
she's got a
I just can't remember,
Substack.
dude.
Yeah. Anyway, he's been talking to her too much.
Some
She's
of
the
our
one that's,
one of our people at least likes her. They say Andrea something.
yeah, Burkhart.
Yeah, Burkhart. Did they say that she's otherwise got a good channel? They like it, but they.
No, I've heard that too. Yep, there it is. See, yep, Rick put it in there. Andre Burkhart.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I've always heard good things too.
Yeah, she seems really nice. I mean, I don't think she's an idiot or like incompetent, but that's just like is what concerns me about her commentary sometimes on this case. It's like,
well, it's either got to be ignorance or something else. I mean, but when you say, oh, the SD cards, no problem. It's his property. It's his property until they say otherwise. Even though, I mean, it was sitting there
obviously I
recording a murder in 4K.
Yeah, I dissected that quite a bit. And yeah, no, under the tampering with evidence law in the state of Utah, I mean, not saying it's a for sure shut case, but it most definitely was a prosecutable thing. Like they should have been prosecuted for that.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you're that dumb and, I didn't know that would be evidence. They just recorded the murder, you stupid.
And that's the thing is how deep does this go? Because it was right in front of the police chief. Like, it was right in front of the police chief, dude.
Well,
like,
I mean, shit, his uncle's what, a state senator or something? I mean, good Lord. There's a Farnsworth Mountain over there. Or something to that effect. I think it's a mountain named after them. Like he's way up in the Utah politics, so.
Yeah, I don't think I ever want to go to Utah anymore. Like
no. I've always wanted to go just because I've seen some of the pictures of.
Oh, it's beautiful. Highway to the danger zone.
Yeah, that's it.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't know. That's there's some seriously it appears by all appearances allegedly seems like there's some real shady politics going on over there too.
Oh yeah.
Now, Lyman, I know he ran against Spencer Coxon.
Well, he ran against the AG or Lyman. Yeah, Lyman did run for governor. Yeah,
right, and then lost. But was he not the governor at one point?
No,
he never was. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking maybe possibly he was further back. I guess he was just a candidate. But I've heard a lot about that election, and it sounds like there was some real shady shit involved with getting Spencer Cox in there.
I could imagine, man. I mean, again, if things are the way that I think they are in that case, like Utah was chosen for a very specific reason.
No, I look, I'm convinced of that. I mean, I may not even have any specific fact that I can say, that's why, but I'm convinced there's a reason why that it was done there.
I think it's just the ability and the ease of getting people involved out there.
I mean, obviously everybody is connected to everybody there in some way, and a lot of it has to do with the whole LDS thing. I mean, look, what did that cop say? He told the sheriff that that he was connected to him through religious.
Yeah, that's right.
Other. And I mean, I would may be wrong, but I would say it's probably an LDS thing.
Well, of course, yeah.
And again, if you're LDS, that's fine. I have nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't know against LDS people either.
But especially in Utah, they
in that, it's easy.
They tend to
tell the other that, hey, let's do this. Oh yeah, okay.
Yep.
It's just the way it is. I mean, that's how people are in their own groups.
But when you get that many of one particular any kind of group or class or what,
the potential for abuse is great.
Yeah.
I actually grew up around mostly African Americans, like in my school and stuff, and so like I've been in environments like that, and people get in the majority somewhere and they kind of just take stuff over, it's just the way it is, and so it's
regardless of what it is that gives you the majority.
That's right, and that like religious bonds are obviously some of the strongest.
Yeah, they're pretty strong.
That people
tend to be. Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. Lord have mercy. Well,
we're gonna hop off in a second, Adam. It's midnight here.
Yeah. It's 11 o'clock here. It's late enough. So,
I enjoyed
maybe,
it though. We'll try
yeah.
to do it on Fridays, man. I should
Yeah.
be good to go for Fridays. Coming, moving
Well, I know
forward.
you've had a lot going on, and so it is what it is. But yeah, I'm good to get back to it whenever. Um, seems to be. I always enjoy it, and I think for the most part, everybody else does too. So
Yeah, and next time we'll put some more. I'll help put some more materials together for us, and we'll be a little bit more on point. But
I
hey, I
mean,
should get back over here and
this was good just to catch up. I mean, just go through
yeah.
the new happenings.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I kind of got caught up on some stuff too, as far as like what's been happening, at least outside of like Barron's podcasts and stuff. So
Yeah, it's good to get that attorney opinion on this stuff because the loudest voices are Gary Melton and time to hear, or it's good to hear a little different perspective.
yeah, again, that's part of the reason why I got involved in YouTube on this end because just all the misinformation and yeah.
That's right. Yep. I mean, look, there is nothing wrong with telling somebody something wrong if it's not intentional, and as long as you own that, go back and correct the record. But
Yeah.
when you're intentionally misleading people, I mean that's just not a good thing. There's nothing that says I'm an honest person more than coming back and saying, "Look, I was wrong, and not only was I wrong, I was real wrong."
That's right. That's right.
So, yep.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna get off here and crash a little bit myself.
Okay.
So,
well, yeah, it's good talking to you, man, and we'll be in touch, and maybe we can do next Friday, and hey, maybe we link up before.
Yeah, hey, go ahead and plug your channel. I know that everybody in the chat knows you, but somebody will be watching this video down the road.
Yeah, the Entheogenic Esquire. Yeah.
Subscribe. That's it. Subscribe, share, like, all that. Everybody hitting the like.
Thank y'all very much, everybody, for tuning in. I love you, and we'll be back.
Miss Susan's the hall monitor, so make sure everybody hits that like. Yep. And y'all, please, anybody that's not subscribed to my channel.
Yeah, subscribe to Adams for you. Subscribe to mine.
Like, share, all that good stuff. And thank God Greg finally got monetized. I am not yet, so I have my 3 links for support in the description of the video. I got a Venmo, Cash App, and a PayPal if anybody feels so inclined. Anyway, all right, Greg.
All right, brother. Have a good one, man. I'll be in touch with you.
Good. Absolutely.
All right, brother. Peace, man.
Night, everybody.